The Sahara Desert is the most renowned desert on Earth, second in size only to Antarctica, though we don't typically think of ice-covered regions as deserts. When people imagine a desert, they think of blazing heat, minimal rainfall, and endless stretches of sand. The Sahara fits this image perfectly, spanning an area equivalent to half of Russia or the entirety of Brazil. Interestingly, the Sahara is not just a barren wasteland. Beneath its sands lie significant deposits of gas and oil. The sand dunes in the Sahara can reach staggering heights of 160 to 180 meters, taller than a 70-story building. But what lies beneath this vast, sandy expanse? Why is there so much sand, and has it always been this way? Surprisingly, not too long ago, the Sahara was a flourishing, life-rich region. Something, however, changed drastically. Let's explore the basics. The Sahara stretches 400 kilometers from west to east, and 800 to 1,200 kilometers from north to south, occupying 30% of the African continent. Its total area is a massive 8.6 million square kilometers, which surpasses the size of Brazil. Yet, contrary to popular belief, only 20% of the Sahara is covered by sand. The rest is primarily rocky terrain and cliffs. The sand, rocks, and stones of the Sahara conceal fascinating secrets that scientists have recently begun to uncover. For years, scientists theorized that the Sahara was once a verdant paradise, but lacked definitive proof, until recently. Beneath the desert's sands, researchers discovered a vast reservoir, the remnant of an ancient lake formed about 250,000 years ago when the Nile River breached a low channel near what is now Lake Nasser. This event flooded the eastern Sahara, creating a lake that at its peak spanned more than 108,000 square kilometers, making it significantly larger than Lake Erie and nearly double the size of Lake Michigan. Additionally, a smaller lake of about 48,000 square kilometers formed around the same time. The traces of these ancient lakes were first identified in 2010 by geologists from the U.S. National Air and Space Museum, led by Ted Maxwell. They utilized radar data from space shuttle missions to detect the contours of these prehistoric lakes beneath the Sahara's sands. The extreme dryness of the desert, combined with the consistent geological structure, allowed the radars to capture detailed images of this hidden prehistoric landscape, revealing one of the Sahara's many secrets. Scientists uncovered fossilized fish remains in sediments approximately 400 kilometers west of the Nile River, at an elevation of about 250 meters above sea level, marking the highest shoreline of a once vast lake. By integrating this data, researchers confirmed that the Nile once inundated the entire Kisiba-Tushka Depression in Egypt, forming a massive lake. The presence of Paleolithic human settlements near the Salima and Tarfawi areas further supports the existence of this ancient lake. For thousands of years, this lake fostered a diverse array of flora and fauna. However, its sudden formation led to its eventual demise, as the water levels receded and evaporated faster than they could be replenished. Over time, the lake dried up, and its bed was consumed by sand. Despite the lake's disappearance, life continued to thrive in the region. Scientific studies indicate that as recently as 5,000 years ago, the Sahara was lush with vegetation and teeming with life. But why was this the case? In 2015, scientists provided a comprehensive explanation. The Nature Communications Journal published a groundbreaking article detailing new research. Using the pulsar-phased ray-type L-band synthetic aperture radar from Japan's ALICE Advanced Land-Observing Satellite, scientists discovered the bed of a large ancient river with an extensive network of tributaries. This river, known as the Tamanghasset River, was a massive paleo river believed to have flowed through West Africa as recently as 5,000 years ago, originating from the Atlas and Ahaggar Mountains in modern Algeria. Named after the oasis town of Tamanghasset in Algeria, the river and its numerous tributaries spanned over 500 kilometers and emptied into the Atlantic Ocean near Mauritania. In ancient times, the Tamanghasset River basin was rich in animal and plant life. However, over the course of 2,000 years, the river dried up completely. If it existed today, it would rank as the 12th longest river on Earth. Some scientists speculate that the river may have intermittently appeared and disappeared over the past 245,000 years, a period that coincides with the existence of the ancient lake in the region. Regardless, The Tamanghasset River was a crucial water source that transformed Central Africa into a thriving green paradise. Even today, traces of this ancient waterway remain, feeding the famous oases of the Sahara, with underground currents and reservoirs hidden beneath the sands. The story of the Sahara becomes even more fascinating when we delve deeper into its prehistoric past, millions of years ago. During the Mesozoic era, the waters of the Tethys Sea covered what is now the Sahara. In these ancient waters, ancestors of modern whales, known as Bilosaurus, thrived. Their massive fossilized remains were discovered during excavations at Wadi el-Hitan in Egypt. These bones, preserved on the ocean floor for millions of years, remained undisturbed until the ocean gradually receded and the seabed rose to become dry land. Due to the abundance of fossils from this ancient ocean, the Sahara is sometimes referred to as the Valley of the Whales. In addition to ancient marine creatures, the Sahara has also yielded the fossilized remains of one of the largest dinosaurs, the herbivorous sauropod. This giant, which measured 32 meters in length and weighed up to 60 tons, was a remarkable discovery that captivated the scientific community. However, even this significant find was overshadowed by the discovery of remains from a previously unknown species of ancient creatures. In 2016, archaeologists made a remarkable discovery in Egypt that captivated the scientific community. Led by Dr. Heshan Solam of Mansour University, a team of Egyptian and American paleontologists unearthed the fossilized bones of a creature named Mansurosaurus. This find caused a sensation, and in 2018, the fossils were officially classified as belonging to a new ancient species and genus, making it a significant breakthrough in the field of paleontology. While the Sahara's rich history of wildlife is fascinating, the most intriguing aspect is how humans managed to survive in these once flourishing regions. To uncover these stories, we must delve beneath the sands of the Sahara. Humans have inhabited the Sahara for thousands of years, adapting to the region's ever-changing climate. As conditions shifted, people migrated in and out, building and abandoning settlements over time. Archaeologists have discovered human remains that indicate several distinct communities once lived there, some of which had social structures more advanced than mere pastoralism. Regions like the Fayum lowlands, Nabta, and the Bir Kaseba oasis became habitable during periods of increased rainfall, allowing populations to flourish. Around the 10th millennium BC, people began migrating down the Nile and spreading across the eastern Sahara. By the 7th millennium BC, large socially organized settlements had developed in the area. Pottery found in Nabta, with the earliest examples dating to the 6th millennium BC, is adorned with intricate colored patterns, reminiscent of ceramics from the Nile Valley near Khartoum. These archaeological discoveries suggest that these communities had a more advanced level of social organization than those in the Nile Valley. Notably, several ancient megalithic structures have been uncovered in Nabta. These are believed to be archaeoastronomical monuments, similar to Stonehenge. One of these megalithic structures is thought to be a calendar circle, potentially one of the earliest in history. Astrophysicist Thomas J. Brophy and other scientists have proposed that these structures also had religious significance. Brophy suggests that the sacred symbols found in Nabta Playa date back to the 5th millennium BC, reflecting themes of great practical importance to nomadic life, such as cattle, water, death, the earth, the sun, and the stars. There are even more man-made structures of historical interest buried under the Sahara's sands. Among these are the fortresses built by the Garamantes, an ancient Saharan people mentioned by the historian Herodotus. The Garamantes inhabited much of the Sahara from around 200 BC to 700 AD, a time when the region was already a desert. Despite the harsh conditions, the Garamantes learned how to extract water from underground sources and built an extensive network of canals to irrigate their fields and farms, providing drinking water to their towns and fortresses. Their ingenuity allowed them to thrive in an environment that would have been uninhabitable for others. Three-dimensional satellite images allowed scientists to observe the smooth edges of ancient man-made channels concealed under the sands of the Sahara. Over time, as the climate became increasingly dry, these channels dried up, and the sands eventually swallowed the settlements. While speculation about extraterrestrial origins is the stuff of science fiction, the Sahara does preserve evidence of interplanetary events within its sands. One such relic is the rare mineral known as Libyan desert glass, found scattered across the barren dunes and rocky plateaus. Libyan desert glass, which consists of 98% silicon dioxide, SiO2, resembles ordinary broken glass with a yellow-green hue in various shades. This natural glass has been known since ancient times and was even used by the ancient Egyptians. One famous example is the scarab beetle amulet symbolizing fertility, which adorned Pharaoh Tutankhamun's medallion. This medallion was first discovered by British archaeologist Howard Carter during the excavation of Tutankhamun's tomb in 1922. The origins of Libyan desert glass remain a mystery. It has been dated to approximately 29 million years ago, but no definitive theory explains its formation. The prevailing hypothesis is that the glass was created by the intense heat generated during a meteorite impact on Earth. The glass contains high-temperature minerals like cristobalite, zirconia, ZrO2, and moissanite, SiC, which require temperatures exceeding 1,600 degrees Celsius to form, temperatures higher than those found in any naturally occurring igneous rock on Earth. Another theory, the comet hypothesis, suggests that Libyan desert glass could be the altered remnants of a comet's nucleus. However, this theory lacks sufficient evidence and has not gained widespread acceptance within the scientific community. Similarly, the meteorite impact hypothesis faced challenges due to the absence of nearby impact craters in most regions where Libyan desert glass is found. This changed in 2007 with the discovery of the Kibera crater, a 31-kilometer-wide impact site located approximately 100 kilometers from the areas where the glass is typically found. This crater may provide a plausible explanation for the origins of Libyan desert glass, although much remains to be studied. The Sahara Desert holds many more astounding secrets, one of the most remarkable being its transformation over time. In the distant past, this vast desert was a lush, green paradise, often compared to the Garden of Eden. Intriguingly, the Sahara might undergo a similar transformation in the future. According to Kathleen Johnson, an assistant professor of Earth System Science at the University of California, Irvine, the Sahara's green period, also known as the African humid period, was driven by changes in Earth's orbital rotation, a cyclical pattern that repeats every 23,000 years. Consequently, in as little as 10,000 years, the Sahara could once again become a verdant landscape. However, this prediction remains uncertain. The Sahara's fate, whether it transforms once more into a lush paradise or remains a desolate expanse, will be determined by our actions today. The sands of time continue to shift, and the future of this ancient land lies within our grasp. What comes next is a story yet to be told.